The title is The Teacher Who Retired Early. The teacher didn't retire early. The teacher stopped teaching before he was 30 and became a full-time landlord. Today, we're going to be watching a video about a teacher who retired early, and how did he get his wealth?
Through real estate.
Through real estate. So that's the surprise here. And this video is from Market Watch.
I'm Joe Olson, I'm 36. That's pretty silly, huh? I've been part of the fire community for about a decade and early retired for 6 years and enjoying life.
He's already retired, okay.
Fire starters 401k. Nice graphics.
I met my ex-wife, Allie, at college.
Okay.
We were graduating, we were looking at the next steps. What are we gonna do out of college? I found out about an AmeriCorps program called Teach for America.
Oh.
It was a 2-year commitment, and I was only planning on doing those 2 years and then moving on to the next thing, and I was just enjoying every day. So we decided, you know, maybe we'll just be teachers.
Okay.
I got my first real job and started getting bigger paychecks, but my ex-wife and I, we were still living like college students. We had this tiny little condo in Vegas that cost us like $330 a month. So we were just spending very little and making, you know, what wasn't a lot of money, but to us was a lot of money.
That's
and it started just accumulating in my bank account. And I was like, what do you do with money? What's the next
You do it,
step
I
to
can
really
help.
To take advantage of this?
Okay.
The housing crisis was just starting. It was 2008 and prices had been falling for like a year.
How old is this video, Zach? It's a year old. Okay, well, okay. So we've had some.
So there's some good market timing
So the
here.
market timing, inflation has kind of leveled into the past year. Interest rates are kind of stable in the past year, right? Okay. And it was funny, we're going from Vegas, and I think at the beginning they were at Seattle. So it's going to be very interesting about his timing between moving house from Vegas to Seattle, if he made it on the upswing there. All right, let's go.
And I went, this must be a great time to buy a rental property because the housing market has crashed now. So we bought a rental property, and then prices kept falling. And then in 2009, they kept falling. And so I was like, this is another great time to buy. So we bought another 2 properties in 2010. I didn't know what I was doing at all with these first couple properties. I was like, look at this house sold for $360,000 at the peak, and now it's $120,000. That must be a great deal. And of course, that house, which we bought at $120,000, eventually fell to $80,000. I really got inspired by that to be like, I need to figure this out. So I started buying real estate books.
It doesn't look like Las Vegas.
Meetups, and really got involved in that as a hobby.
Looks like my folks' neighborhood.
You know, it was at a great time because even though those first few that we bought went down in value temporarily, they eventually rebounded, and we started buying more and more and really setting up our path to fire.
How many
More
is he?
and more. This is interesting.
15 rental properties. Oh, he's all, 4 very different. What?
Fire is
Well, that is kind of a different job. 15
retired
properties
early.
is a
15
job.
properties
Basically
with a
means
net
you have
of
enough
60.
money, you can live off of that money without having to work. Instead of the standard American script of like, after I graduate, I get a job and I work until I'm 70 and then I get Social Security and then I'm done. Fire forces you to look at it differently. It makes you go, okay, first of all, let's get rid of all that stuff that society says is important, whether that's like the latest iPhone or a really fancy car. Fire goes, you know, that's really not that important to me. Let me just not do that stuff.
He had 15 properties. Okay. He's netting 60 grand.
That's $3,000 a property per year.
No, it's more. He's netting 4 grand a property. So if 2 of them are vacant, let's
just keep going.
Yeah, we're gonna keep. No, I'm just 29-year-olds. I guess $60,000 taxable seems like a good number. Let's keep going. Yeah. Okay.
Let me do the stuff that is important to me, that I do value. And so your life tends to look differently. And then you have the whole question of, when I'm done working, what do I do? And for me, that was answered by kids. Like I really wanted to have a family. I wanted to be there with my kids growing up, and I wanted to travel. And these aren't things you can do easily with a normal 9-to-5. And so I went, well, how can I accomplish that? What can I do? And what do I want my life to look like?
I thought he had a teaching
So
job.
we got the travel bug in 2009 after backpacking Europe, the one summer we didn't teach summer school. And so after we early retired, we went over to Europe and bounced around there for a while. We had our first child, Annabelle. She was born in Istanbul. Then we came back to the States to show her to our family before heading to Australia. We bounced around Southeast Asia. We went to New Zealand and Japan. We came back to the States and spent some time in an RV on the West Coast, going up to Canada and down to Mexico. We went to Amsterdam and had our son Cassian. And then as we were about to have our third child, Caitlin, we decided while the kids are young, we really want to be near family. So we settled in Seattle near my family for while they're growing up.
What year is this? It's really funny that the picture of Seattle is snow. It's not supposed to snow
I
there.
got divorced, and
That's why they got good money for
a struggle for a lot of reasons. You know, we have 3 young kids, and we'd been together for almost 15 years, and we just wanted different things. Our lives were going in different directions, and so we decided to separate. And it felt like sort of a failure, like a personal failure, but also sort of a fire failure. Like, shouldn't things be great? You're retired, you don't have jobs, you have kids, you have the life you want. Like, what happened, you know? And coming to grips with that was difficult with sharing with people and saying like, yeah, it didn't work out. But we're both, you know, supportive of each other and happy and moving in different directions, but co-parents and still teammates.
Well, they're big planners, and so it's hard to. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, she's gonna. Oh, they were in. So they were in Seattle when they got divorced, which is a community property state. Pause. Sort of like, including business expensive. I guess hopefully that's. Having 15 rental properties doesn't sound like retirement. That sounds like a full-time job. That's not retired unless unless he's having a management company doing all of it, which is maybe why the net is so little. So he's got business, but
he's talking about shifting.
Right, but again, we've got somebody talking about retirement, and all it is becoming self-employed.
Yeah, but he was honest about that in the beginning.
Right,
I know, but he really was saying.
But the title is The Teacher Who Retired Early. The teacher didn't retire early. The teacher stopped teaching before he was 30 and became a full-time landlord.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, didn't retire once again. Okay.
So you're arguing with the TV.
No.
Because this...
Okay, Boomer, I'm arguing with the TV.
It's the news program that's labeling it that.
I know.
He was very articulate, very thoughtful, that he was shifting from doing the prescribed way of running your life to a different way with different goals. Very
and notice
articulate.
how much more expensive Seattle is than Vegas, although
but
he does have 3 kids.
It off.
I know. No, it's still more expensive. Okay, keep going.
When I first retired, where there was a lot of uncertainty. After we first retired, we were like, how much is travel going to cost? How much are kids going to cost? I don't know. What's our budget going to be like? Right now, I'm in a similar situation where a whole bunch of money just, you know, Allie went and that's hers now, and our net worth got cut in half, or my net worth got cut in half, and I have all these rental properties, but their cash flow changes through time, and, you know, during COVID, a lot of my income went down because tenants couldn't pay their rents, and I'm spending a lot more than I anticipated. There's still some questions around paying Allie this big chunk of money and what's that going to cost me in terms of interest, doing cash out refis on some of these properties and things like that. And I'm kind of in a situation where I was earlier of, if I need to go back to work, I will. I think I'm okay. I think my cash flow will cover my expenses, but also I'm willing to be flexible. My life is very bipolar. Okay. I have on weeks and off weeks. I have the kids on week, and it's non-stop from 6:30 in the morning till 8:30 at night. It's go, go, go. I get a brief window at nap time. On my off weeks, it's very dull. I'm actually still trying to figure that out. I'm developing some new hobbies. I started painting last year. I do some gaming with friends. So I really switch back and forth between like a more typical fire life of, hey, you've got a bunch of freedom,
the fire guy we can
and
introduce him to.
Not fired at all, you are a stay-at-home parent and scrambling to not die.
Well, that
Oh,
is
that was positive.
I donate a lot.
Yeah, but that was
towards
talking about taking care of
international
kids as a
causes.
full-time
And then
job.
I have a
Okay,
few
so
domestic
he's-
causes that are just very important to me personally that I also donate to.
Okay.
The amount that I donate grows by a certain amount each year. I've set these goals of how much I'm going to donate every year, and I've made a promise that if I can't donate that, I'm going back to
Wow,
work.
okay.
Like if I don't have enough money to donate to these causes, then I don't have enough money to be early retired. I need to go earn that money so that I can spin my lifestyle, because I'm not okay just having my nice lifestyle and not contributing to these causes. For anyone seeking FIRE, I think the key is
He's
a
got a
quote by
flexible
John
view of
Stuart
retirement.
Mill
He
that
does
I really
have a
like,
very
where he
flexible view of
says,
retirement.
I have learned to seek my happiness in limiting my desires rather than in attempting to satisfy them. And if you can look at what in your life makes you happy and not constantly want to be chasing like, I want this new fancy car, I want this extravagant restaurant, but really going, you know what, this is what's important to me, spending time with my family, let's go have a picnic in the park. I think the best path to FIRE is really critically examining how are you spending your money and is it bringing you happiness?
This is actually a difficult one to do reaction to, because he's not out.
He's got some nuanced thinking, and he's been planning and reacting to things, evaluating what happened.
Right.
He actually had a nuanced view of, I bought a house when the market was up and it was this, and then the market went down, but I saw it as a good opportunity to buy more. I didn't just scream that I was losing on my first property.
And it didn't look like he moved all of his rental properties to Washington State. You know,
there's some diversity.
He had
to
diversity. He had geographic diversity in there, so we didn't see where his current portfolio is, which would have been kind of interesting to see if that had moved. I would have also liked to have known when he bought in Seattle, because Seattle's
Real
estate
is crazy.
has absolutely skyrocketed within a couple of years after the crash. It's really gone. No, it's
Las
really,
Vegas has gone pretty well too.
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
it?
Well,
I don't know.
I think it started. But obviously from the numbers he was doing, I think it started from a lower point, at least from what he was saying. But the thing that's different about him with real estate versus, well, it's like I said. So we've got FIRE and real estate, which does seem to be a interesting combination. Okay.
But part of the reason he's so heavily into real estate is in the divorce, they split in a
Yeah,
way
no, I
that he
understand.
got the real estate and she got
I understand that.
the cash.
But why this is not the same as the other real estate videos we've been watching. He is not out there yelling at us, because that's what the other people do. He is not out there yelling at us to get rid of everything and only own real estate, and that everybody's a moron if they don't own a lot of rental property, okay? Because he actually would not want that. He can't be in favor of everybody going out and buying property, because that's going to drive up his acquisition costs, all right? He's also, the way we saw his diversification, he's not in a situation, well, I don't know what would have to happen if he had to liquidate his portfolio very quickly, as opposed to the other guys who are pure real estate, who are in a situation where quick portfolio liquidation is going to hurt them financially. Dear?
But he's also thinking about that his kids are young and he wants to spend time with them. So he actually has a plan for right now.
Right.
And sounds like the kind of person who will reevaluate it as they get older. So
Maybe
and you
when
might
they go to high school, he's bored out of his mind and he wants to get a job again.
So well, I'd say he's managing 15 properties. So he has a job and he's actually taking care of kids full time every other week, and I would call that a job too.
Yes.
So a lot of this is shifting how you work. Not that you aren't working, but you're shifting it.
Right. He's picked a different employer. He's got a very different approach to this. He has managed to mix FIRE and real estate and come out the other end, right? And so let's see what Zach has for us for the next time we have to do a reaction video. Take care, everybody. Like, subscribe. You know what to do. Keep those cards and letters coming. Toodles.
Toodaloo.